How we doing, folks? The old Cougar here. As you're all be well aware, those who are playing the game at present in World of Tank Blitz, the main battle tank that is given away free after doing the grinds for it and earning your coupons. You're earning 2 coupons per battle, per win that is. Not a draw or a loss, it has to be a win, and you get 2 tickets. Or if you're buying some of the 1500 gold boxes, you get 3 tickets in it. But at the end of the day, if you played enough battles, won enough battles and earned enough tickets, you get the Chrysler K, the American Tier 8 premium heavy tank, of which in real life none were ever built. Another fake tank added by Wargaming. Now, the history of the tank, which I have garnered most of from the online tank museum, and credit goes to Mark Nash for his comments and his setup on the tank's history and its design and its make and the reason it was made and what have you. So I'm going to go through that first for those who enjoy the historical side of some of the tanks that we play in game. United States American 1946 heavy tank, the Chrysler K. It was a prototype designed in response to the increasing interest in heavy tanks at the end of the Second World War. The growth in interest was thanks in no small part to the discovery of the German plans for super heavy tanks such as the Maus and the E-100. Most importantly, however, it was the appearance of the Soviet IS-3 at the Berlin Victory Parade in 1945 that really jump-started the process. The appearance of the IS-3 sent a chill down the spine of all major Allied powers. Each nation invested large amounts of time, energy and resources in heavily armoured tanks with powerful main armaments, not least the USA, whose only heavy tank was the M26. Or the Persian, as we know it. This vehicle was considered to lack the required firepower and the protection to face tanks such as the new IS-3. One of these early designs was a submission from the Chrysler Motor Corporation, called the Chrysler K, and it would be armed with a 105mm main gun and armour up to 18 centimetres or 7 inches thick. On the 1st of November 1945, the Stilwell Board was convened, named after the man heading the meeting, General Joseph W. Stilwell. The official designation, however, was War Department Equipment Review Board, and the findings of this board, submitted in a report on 19th of January 1946, agreed for the most part with earlier recommendations that light, medium and heavy tanks should be all developed. However, experiments with super heavy tanks such as the T-28, T-95 would be abandoned. We've all seen the T-28 and the T-95 in game. More fake tanks. Another omission from the report was the development of dedicated tank destroyers, following the armoured schools based at Fort Benning in Georgia opinion that the best anti-tank weapon would be another tank. As such, a heavy tank was favoured in tank versus tank combat due to the powerful guns and the thick armour. Now, Chrysler's submission, Chrysler being based in Michigan, a car company, submitted their design for an unconventional heavy tank to the Armoured School in a presentation by Mr. F.W. Slack at Fort Knox on the 14th of May 1946. It would be known as the Chrysler K. The origin of the K may lie with Kaufman through McKellar, the president of the Chrysler Corporation from 1935 to 1950, an advocate of the creation of Detroit Arsenal. It's quite possible that the tank was named after him, given his position at Chrysler and his relationship with the military thanks to the Detroit Arsenal. Chrysler's design would incorporate a number of features that were sophisticated for the period they were designed in, and these included an electric motor, remote-controlled secondary armaments, and a driver-in-turret arrangement. The gun would be a 105mm tank gun, the T5E1. It was chosen as the main armament for Chrysler's heavy tank. Designed in 1945, it was a popular choice for American heavy tanks at the time, and was also mounted on the vehicles such as the T-29 and the super heavy tank, the T-28, in its prototype stage rather. The T5E1 had a medium velocity of 945 meters a second, or 3,100 feet a second. It also had a variety of ammunition, which we had in game, but we have 3. These were 2-part, separate loading, i.e. it was the projectile then the charge. This allowed it to be as good a bunker buster as well as a tank killer, with the gun proven capable of penetrating concrete as well as metal. Ammunition types included the AP-BCT, the armor-piercing ballistic capped tracer, the HVAP-T, the high-velocity armor-piercing tracer, armor-piercing composite rigid tracer, APCR-T as we know it, and the HE. The AP-BCT shell could penetrate 135mm, 5.3 inches of armor at a 30-degree slope, or 84mm, 3.3 inches of armor at a 60-degree slope, at 1,000 yards. At 24 feet 8 inches, the barrel of the weapon was a bit long. It was concluded that if the turret was mounted in the usual place, i.e. centrally, the gun would become hazardous in conveying and convoy travel, or whilst manoeuvring. As such, the decision was made to place the turret at the back of the tank, offsetting the length of the gun. This design choice resulted in the vehicle having an overall length of 28 feet 7.5 inches. This was 3 inches longer than the M26, the Persian, despite the 105mm gun being 16.5 centimeters, 6.5 inches longer than the M26's 90mm gun. The gun could elevate up to 25 degrees and depress to 4 degrees, not 6 degrees as in game, or 10 degrees down the side. There was the 50 cal heavy machine guns. There was 2, and 2 30mm caliber machine guns. One of the 50 cal machine guns was mounted coaxially with the main gun. The other 2 were placed in secondary turrets on the left and right rear corners of the hull. They had the limited horizontal traverse, but could be elevated upwards to defend against air attacks. Quite how practical this was is debatable, but never mind. But if you look at the tank itself, the Chrysler K side-on, it's an odd looking tank, but it has very, very similar characteristics to the VK4502B, or more similarly, I would say, to the VK72. The turret is rounded in shape, the hull is big and heavy, but the VK72 has obtrusions to the side of the hulls, whereas the Chrysler K is just flat hull on the sides with the 2 machine guns fitted to the rear. It's quite an interesting beast. There is more history into it, but there's a game here for you to watch. It's in boss mode, but it gives you a sort of idea of what the tank looks like, what everybody's aiming for. There's a lot of people have got it so far. Some have bought the tickets by gold, and some of us have played long enough and hard enough to get the amount of wins that we needed for the tickets to get it for free. The only thing I did spend on was the 1420 gold to get the legendary camouflage. It's called the Tomahawk, and obviously having connections with the Native Americans, it had to be bought. Hope you enjoy this one, folks. Cheers. Right, while this game's playing, let's have a rundown of the tank stats in game, what they give us. The tank starts with hit points 1961 if you're using the improved assembly. or 1850 if you use the enhanced armour. Now, using the enhanced armour it's a choice you have to make, but to start with, your turret has 254 on the front, 127 at the sides and 89 at the back. But if you use the 4% extra with the improved assembly, the enhanced armour, it gives you 264 at the front, so that's 10 higher, 132 at the sides and 92 and a half at the back. On the hull, it's 152, but with the enhanced armour it's 158, 110 at the sides, 114 and a half with the enhanced armour, and 56 at or 76 rather on the hull, and 79 with the using enhanced armour. Now the DPM is alterable as well. You can have 2145, or if you use calibrated it's 1995. It's only 150 of a loss, so it's worth considering, because your reload is 8.67, but when you use calibrated it's 9.33, so there's not that much of a difference. It's only about 0.6 of a second. Your AP standard is 218, calibrated is 229, APCR is 265, calibrated is 278, HE is 53, calibrated is 58. Now your aim time is adjustable, 4 or 5 days. It's 4.3 seconds if you use supercharged and refined gun. It's 3.9 seconds if you use the enhanced gun lane drive and the refined gun. 3.7 seconds if you use the enhanced gun lane drive and V-stabs, or 4 seconds if you use the V-stabs and supercharged. There are different ways you can set it up, but it all depends on what sort of playstyle you're in. Whether you're up close and personal, close combat type of thing, you don't have to worry about aim time. You don't have to worry about enhanced gun lane drive or V-stabs or whatever. It depends on what your gun, your fighting style is, whether you play at a distance or you play up front line. The view range, if you're playing at distance, is 271 metres. That's for the improved optics. Your camo nets, if you choose the camo nets, it's 36 stationary, 30 moving and 8 when you're firing when stationary. Otherwise it's 30. But we'll carry on with the game and I'll let you finish watching, and you can tell me what you think at the end.
Enemy armor is hit. Track hit. We didn't even scratch them. We've lost the track. We're stuck here. Got 'em. Enemy hit. We've had it. Everybody out. We're immobilized. Enemy armor destroyed. Enemy armor is hit. Gotcha! Critical hit. One of our tracks is damaged. Track hit. We've lost a track. We're stuck here. We didn't penetrate their armor. We've lost a track. We're stuck here.
So there we are, folks. 14,000 damage, couple of kills, couple of decent shots. I finished up with second spot, which wasn't too bad. I was behind the boss, but it does the trick. Stat wise, I missed 3 and only 19 penetrated out of the 22 that hit. But there's the damage that was caused. I always like to look at the stats to see what the efficiency of my shots were and what damage they created, whether it's in a fun mode or a ordinary regular battle mode. It helps me see just how much damage I've done, where I hit the tank and what was caused. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, folks, and if you've lasted this long, thanks for watching. Cheers now, stay safe out there.